my button's not working right now. So this lady that we've got who's going to be speaking to us this morning, she is one of my absolute favorite people. She has a heart of gold, and more importantly than that, she has a heart to serve people and help them to do things that they didn't think were possible. She's got an amazing story, has lived an amazing life, has done some pretty awesome things. And she had to pivot yesterday and do this virtually because of some stuff that she's got going on in her world. And so with that being said, Myra, I'm so grateful that you are here to join us this morning. I'm going to put you up on the main screen here. I think I know how to spotlight you. There we go. Myra, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. And you know what? Thank you for caring enough about your people to share with them this information, because I think it's so important. And, you know, we're always teaching, let's go sell another house. We're teaching how to get listings. We're teaching all these things, but we need to teach what you do with the money. And how you build your future financial freedom. So that's what I'm here to do, to share today. And I just appreciate that you care enough about your people to have me. So thank you so much for bringing me.
Well, thank you for being here, Myra. Take it away.
Okay, so let me start. Can I share my screen?
You can in 1 second. Let me give you permission to share.
All right, thank you. It'll be worth it, I promise.
All right, there you go.
All right, let me pull mine up here real quick. All right, can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, hang on just a second. All right, hang on 1 second and let me try a different way. Okay, now can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right, let's start it from the beginning then. Okay, so again, thank you so much for having me. And this is my passion. For those of you that don't know me, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have been in the real estate industry for going on 30 years as far as owning real estate. I didn't get my license until 2001, and I sold real estate in Denton. And I was Jim and Linda's #1 competition at an independent broker here in Denton. I was the #1 individual agent, and they recruited me to Keller Williams to come be the team leader. And that happened in 2011. And we did a turnaround on the Denton office. And within 3 years, it then became the OP of Denton. And then I ran the region, the Ohio Valley region. So I got to go to Kentucky, which is where I'm from, and Indiana and Ohio. And I got to be the Smokey Garrett of North Texas. I got to be him in Ohio Valley. And I did that for 4.5 years. We doubled the region. And in 2018, I just decided that I was ready for a change, and that meaning that I had always wanted to write a book and just share my story, because my story started out as a hairstylist. I was doing $5 haircuts. My husband was a policeman, and in my 20s, I made a decision that I wanted to be financially free. I got myself in a lot of debt. And I just made a decision that I had to get out of it, and nobody was going to come rescue me, quite honestly. And so and that's why I always wanted to write a book. By the age of 33, we had built a rental portfolio of 10 properties that was throwing off $5,000 a month passive income for us. And so that allowed us both. I sold my hair salon. My husband quit the police department. And we spent the next 3 years just having a great time and enjoying life. I got bored. And so I got my real estate license. And Lordy mercy, y'all know real estate is not, there's nothing passive about real estate. And I started selling real estate, and I got on that treadmill to success, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're back working 12 to 14 hours a day, and you're not spending your time with the people you love, then there's a problem. So I was sitting at a conference with John Maxwell in 2016, and I still to this day think he was talking to me. he said, you know, success is great, but significance is where it's at. And honestly, that hit me like a lightning bolt. And I made a decision that day to move towards what I've always wanted to do and start enjoying my life, because instead of chasing, I felt like I was chasing other people's dreams, to be honest, because I was financially free at that point already. And I needed, you know, time is infinite. And I mean, time is so finite and money is infinite. And I could always make more money, but I was running out of time. And so I really wanted to write this book. And so Down Home Money started in 2018 when I resigned from the region. So it took me 2 years to write this book and 2 years to share my story and start my platform of financial freedom. So I hope that you enjoy this today. I'm going to give you about 45 minutes. And honestly, if you will watch this and really turn your phones off because you owe it to yourself, this is for you today. This could make a difference in your life and the way you see your money. I hope that at the end of the 45 minutes, you'll see your money differently. And you'll see a way that you too can have financial freedom. So y'all ready? You ready to get started?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Okay. It is not how much money you make. It is how much money you keep and what you do with it. What I have found, and I coach people on financial freedom, and I'll share, I've got a gal I coach in Ohio, and she's a top mega agent. She is not with our company yet, but she makes over $1 million a year selling real estate. But you guys, when you spend $1.2 million, you still got a $200,000 deficit. Yep. And that's what's happening in her life. And she's, you know, in a mess financially, which she should be financially free. When you make that kind of money, I also have coaching clients that make $50,000 a year that save 20 of the 50 and put it in assets to throw them off a passive income. And we're going to talk about that. So who do you want to be? Which one do you want to be? We all talk about being top income earners, but if you're not doing great things with your money, it really won't matter in the end. So I want you today to imagine being able to live life on your terms. Imagine being able to spend as much time as you want with the people you love, doing the things that give you joy and satisfaction. Imagine living completely debt-free. Does this sound like something you'd enjoy? You can. And today we're going to address what might be holding you back. So buckle up. All right, you need to know where you are today is a result of the decisions you've made in the last 5 to 10 years. And where you're going to be in 5 to 10 years is a result of what you do today. It's all about choices. Financial freedom is for everyone. It is simple, but it's not easy. And it comes with a lot of delayed gratification. And I told you the story about me cutting hair. I was doing $5 haircuts. We never made 6 figures combined, me and my husband. And we got to financial freedom in 13 years through saving money and living purposefully and being committed to the process, because this is not a destination, okay? It's a journey, and you got to get started on the journey if you want to be free. So our world, we're full of consumerisms. We're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Well, at least I'm Generation X, and it was the Joneses. But, you know, now it's the Kardashians, and you guys are in trouble. Those girls know how to spend money. And if we try to keep up with them, they make a lot of money. We're going to be in trouble. And that's what I want to share with you. It's the decisions you're making that is putting you in the position you're in, whether it's good or bad. You got to take control of your future and your money instead of allowing it to control you. Release what is holding you back today is the first day of your life. You got this. If you're sitting here today and you're financially struggling, I am throwing you a lifeline today, and I want to help you. And I promise Turn your phone off and get engaged in this conversation because it could be a game changer for you. 10 strategies for living your best life and living in freedom every day. I will tell you, there is nothing more free than when you don't have to work. When you are working in a passion and working because you want to work, not because you have to work. Strategy number 1, you guys, change your mind, change your life. A lot of this is mental. And I know a lot of you know that. I mean, we teach this all the time at Keller Williams, and it's so important. You know, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. If you're spending time with big time consumers that have to drive the nicest, newest, best car, they've got to live in the biggest house that the lender will give them, they can afford, then you're going to think like them. Spend time with like-minded people, and it will change the way you see things. I had to change who I hung out with, because if you're spending time with people that want the Lambo, I mean, and if you're watching on Instagram, I mean, seriously, I would just think my life's horrible compared to some of these lives people are living. Lord have mercy if I just didn't know the truth. Right? I coach a couple of them and I'm like, look, you're making it look like you're living this big life. And my goodness, you can hardly pay your bills. And I think we see so much of that. And that is so fabulous in our eyes because we've built that up. But you guys, do you figure out what it is you want and get your mind right on this. You have to have clarity in order to go where you want to go. And clarity first comes from figuring it out in your own head and sitting down and taking the time. You know, we go to all these classes, but we never sit down and ask ourselves some simple questions. 1, what gives you joy? And I'll tell you, when I sit down and started asking myself these questions, it was like, what gave me joy was spending time with Rick and my Chihuahua. And I was like, and traveling with them and having fun. And what I was doing was traveling back and forth to Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, putting in franchises and spending all my time with other people, not the ones I cared the most about. So when you get some clarity on what gives you joy, you then can take the next steps. So change your mind, change your life, and you need to live in abundance. If you're living in a scarcity mindset, let me just say this, you will never get what you want. Honestly, you've got to believe it to achieve it. I would be doing $5 haircuts, you guys, and I had on my Myra at home when I get dressed in the morning because I was working. Oh my goodness, I'd leave at 6 a.m. and get people before they went to work, and then I'd get people after work, so I would get home at 10 o'clock. But I was on a mission to retire and be financially free. And so I had on my deal, you will be a millionaire by age 30. I didn't hit there at 30. I hit it at 33, but that's okay. I got there. But I saw that every day. So you've got to be feeding your mind positive things. I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to make this big sale. All of this is about feeding your mind positivity. You will not get anywhere on scarcity. Strategy number 2, you have got to know where you are in order to know where you're going. And this is one of the most crucial parts of financial freedom. I cannot tell you how many people I talk to who you and I would perceive as very successful who do not have a clue what their net worth is. It's sad. Okay, and what the first exercise, and you can go to my site, and I'll show it to you. But I have Down Home Money is my website, and I have free money tools, and you can get a free Excel spreadsheet for your net worth sheet. And you guys, honestly, your net worth, it's a crucial thing. You've got to know your assets and your liabilities, and your net worth is assets minus liabilities. And when you look at this form on the screen, it shows you what are assets. Your home, which congratulations, if you own a home, it probably went up anywhere from 10 to 20%, depending on where you live in the last year. Now, let me tell you about your vehicle. Your vehicle is not an asset unless it's some classic vehicle that you bought when it was new and you've had it 30 years. Vehicles are liabilities. They're going down in value. But whatever it's worth today, check the blue book. Don't just guess, and don't put what you paid for it. Same thing for your house. So when you go through these, get them right. You got to get your assets right, because it's assets minus liabilities. And then I want you to look at that number once you've minus that, and that is your net worth. If you've been working 10 years, and you'll probably have a minus number. If you're in your 20s or 30s, it's probably going to be a minus number. If you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it's time to make that number a positive number and start working for something. And it's crucial, because here's the deal. That number, that's exactly what you've been working for all the time you've been working. Now, if that doesn't give you chills, if you have a negative number, then I don't know what will. I mean, that's why I am passionate about this, because I want to show people how it's the little steps. And I'm going to show you the little steps today that you can start changing the trajectory of your finances and build a financially free future self. All right. Any questions on the net worth sheet? And Scott, you'll have to tell me if anybody, because I can't see anybody.
Any questions on it? No, keep going.
Okay. Number 3, I know everybody hates this word, but you got to live on a budget. You've got to. You've got to figure out your budget. And you can, again, go to Down Home Money. It's a free tool, Money Tools at the top. And you can download this. And this is simple. You guys, everything I do is extremely simple. Listen, I got a high school education from Kentucky, great state of Kentucky, and I'm not going to complicate anything. Money is complicated enough, and I make everything simple. So that's why my book's called Down Home Money, The Simple Approach to Financial Freedom, because it's a very simple process. And a budget is very simple. You got to put all your expenses on here, and you're going to be shocked, because once you start tracking your money and seeing what you're blowing your money on, you're going to get a lot more purposeful with your money, because I'm going to show you how we can get your money today up and making you another passive income. Anybody interested in that?
Yes.
Okay. Me and you, Scott, we got this. Okay, here we go. All right. So we got our budget in place. We're going to get the budget. We've got our net worth sheet. We know where we are. We got our mind set up. Now here's strategy number 4, which is crucial, because this gives you peace of mind. And I don't know if you're like me, but I'm one of these people. I don't like debt. And I want to know that I have an emergency fund in case something happens, because we all know things happen. It's just inevitable, right? The car breaks down, the AC goes out, the water heater breaks. I mean, stuff happens. And so strategy 4, you need 3 months. And if your real estate business and your personal are separate. So 3 months of your emergency fund for your real estate business, whatever it costs you, and then 3 months for your personal. And this is just to get started. Ideally, you'd like to get it to about 6 months. But if you have 3, we can start then investing in the passive income streams that I'm going to share with you. All right? Here's why you need emergency funds. So most Americans have emergency savings. We ask, how much do you have stashed away? Just to give you an idea, 31%, 6 months or more. 17%, 3 to 5 months, less than 3 months, 20%, none, 24%, and other 7%. Americans regret not saving for retirement. 22% regret not doing it. 16% not having enough for emergency expenses. 9% taking on too much credit card debt. 9% taking on too much student loan debt. 8% not saving enough for children's education, and 2% buying more house than they can afford, and 7% something else, and none 20%. So I think these numbers really show why it's important for you to save. And I also think things are changing. I think there are other ways you can be saving money for your children's education. You don't want to get roped into something that then they decide they're not going to college. My mom and dad were both school teachers, and I was their one child that did not go to college, but I made it. They're good. They're happy with where I'm at. My mom's real happy. But I think that it's important that you understand that, and we look at other ways of saving for them, because they may want to go to hair school. They may want to do something else. Be a real estate agent, right? That's pretty reasonably priced, and the sky's the limit on your income. All right, strategy number 5. You've got to have a profit and loss for your business. And you can do it for your own personal use. And if you own rental properties, you should be doing a monthly profit and loss for each rental property and a profit and loss for your business. Now, if you don't have one and you want a simplified one, because this girl's the simple, here's my simplified one I do on Excel. If you'd like to have a copy of it, I use this for my real estate team. I will send it to Scott, and he can get it to you. So get with Scott if you want it. But it's very simplified. And I think that sometimes when we complicate things and we do QuickBooks and all this is complicated and you've never done it before, you don't do it, right? And the best document is the document that you use. And so for me, I bought QuickBooks. I wasn't going to do all that mess. That's too much work. I can pull this sheet out and just document and do this, and so much easier. So this is what I do. I also have the rental ones on my website. If you have rental property and you want like a little separate P&L for a rental property, you can go to Money Tools on Down Home Money and use that one. My accountant loves it. So every year I go in every month, I spend about 30 minutes and do all the receipts that Rick gives me. I document them, and then I give it to him. I know exactly how much money I made on each property at the end of the year. I print out all of them and turn them into my CPA. So it's a great document. So any questions on the P&L? I'm going to keep. We're good. Do what? Use it.
Use it.
Yes. All right. So now here's another one that a lot of people don't like, but I'm going to tell you, this rocked my world. I bought a little black notebook, a little black book, and I put in every penny I spent every day because I was like, where's my money going? I'm doing $5 haircuts. I'm killing myself. And I'm like, where is our money going? And until Rick and I got real purpose about tracking every penny, it was a game changer. I mean, to the point of if I'm sitting at the car dealership and there's a gumball machine and I put a quarter in a gumball machine, I would document that quarter. So I got real purposeful on my money and how I was spending it. Game changer, especially when you take that your book and match it up to your budget. And honestly, you need to track your money for at least 30 days. And this way you can bob and weave on your budget and tweak it on what your true budget should be. So I tell people you need to do this at least 90 days. Then you know what your spending habits are. Then we can go back, reevaluate your budget and get it right so that then we can add a line item on that budget for your savings and for your future self. That is crucial. All right, number 7. Now, you guys, I'm talking to a bunch of self-employed people here. And if you don't hear anything else I say today, this is a game changer. And I'm going to lead with my story because I think if you hear it, you're going to listen to how I'm going to tell you to do this a whole lot better. So here we go. So I started a simplified employer pension in my 20s. And here's why. A gentleman that I cut his hair, he was a professional guy. I saw him out in the mall because this is how I built my business. I walked up to him and said, hey, I'll give you a free haircut if you'll try me out. And he was like, I just got a haircut. And I was like, you know what? It's free. Come on. Let me clean up your neck and stuff. So anyway, long story short, I did not have a clue who he was, but I knew he was dressed sharp and could pay for the haircut at a later date and had a gold Rolex watch. And in your 20s, you're paying attention to all that stuff. And so I got him in my chair. He became a longtime client and he changed my life in these words. Young lady, what are you doing for your retirement? And I just laughed. So you 20-year-olds, Y'all can start laughing, but I'm getting ready to tell you how to be a millionaire, so pay attention. I just laughed at him. I said, oh my gosh, I'm in my 20s. I don't need to worry about retirement. And he said, I'm going to make you a millionaire. You may love cutting hair, but I'm going to show you what to do with your money. And so when he said the word millionaire, I already remember that morning when I got up, I saw that on my mirror. So he got my attention. That was the best thing for him to ever say. I said, okay. And so he told me about Vanguard. And Vanguard is a brokerage. It is one of the least expensive brokerage accounts as far as their fees. So it's a great brokerage. He told me about the S&P 500 index fund. He said, do you want to own all the best companies, the 500 top companies in the stock market? And I said, oh my gosh, I could do that. I can own those companies. Absolutely, you can. And he showed me, and I started sending. Back then, I was mailing it. I started mailing $100 a month to Vanguard and buying shares of the Vanguard 500 index fund. You guys, fast forward 10 years later, it was worth $165,000. Fast forward in 2018, and this is in my book, Down on Money. In 2018, that account had over $1 million. So if I would not have changed anything I was doing except continue to do my monthly contributions in the S&P 500 index, and the reason you want index instead of only buying one stock here and one stock here is they're a lot more volatile when you buy one stock. An index gives you have 500 stocks. One goes down, this one may go up. So you don't have the volatility you do when you buy individual stocks. And you guys, that account, if I would have kept cutting hair and spent every penny except continued to make my monthly contribution, I would have still become a millionaire. And if we will teach this to our young people, all of us can be wealthy. It's the truth. It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep and what you're spending the money on. I know a lot more blue collar millionaires than I know white collar millionaires. Let me just say that. And you can change your trajectory by doing this one thing. And I'm getting ready to give you my cell phone, 940-594-6466. Anybody that needs help doing this, again, this is a passion project. It's not a money project for me. You'll find out if you ever write a book, it just costs money. I mail out more books than I make money on. So I'm just giving you my phone number because if you need help, like tomorrow I'm helping two gals open their accounts. But you know why I can give you my phone number? Because most of y'all aren't going to call me, and that's okay. If one of you calls me and I can make a difference in one person's future, this was worth the call for me. And that's what I do now. I do coaching calls from 7:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning. I walk 5 miles every day. I don't do appointments. You got to call me during that time because I'm into freedom and I want you as committed as I am because I'm committed to making millionaires because I know how to do it. I've done it. So if you're interested in learning more, and for those of you that are high income earners selling real estate, this is your largest write-off. You can write off up to $57,000 a year. It's based on how much money you make. It's the best write-off ever. I mean, honest to goodness, a traditional IRA or a Roth are capped. This is not capped at a low number of $7,000. This is as high as 57. And I think it got a raise for 2022. I think it's going to be 58. So seriously, if you don't get anything out of this, this is what you need to take home. Any questions? Yes.
I would imagine one of the things that you realized by him giving you that advice and then looking at it 10 years later, you would have probably been spending that $100 on something anyways. And now you were just spending it, even if you took that $100 and looked at it as entertainment money that you were never going to get back and just put it away every month, it's still going to do something for you in a major way.
Major. I mean, isn't that incredible? I mean, honestly, it's incredible. And I wrote all about it in my book and shared, how it happened. But that's why I'm on a mission because I'm blessed and I have everything I need. And now for the rest of my life, this next 50 years, I am going to help other people along the way. And it's about making a difference. And it goes back to John Maxwell saying, and he's so right when he said that. I didn't believe it at the time. I believe it now. Significance is where it's at. So let me help you. Okay. I'm offering my help. And how many people offer you know,
Can you
help?
Can you repeat your phone number, please?
Yes, it's 940-594-6466.
6466. And your name, ma'am?
Myra Oliver.
Myra Alva. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're so welcome. My pleasure. Okay, so I'm going to share with you just some more statistics that proves what we're talking about here. The following chart shows why investing today is a key to retiring on your own terms. Each assumes a 7% annual rate of return based on the long-term average of the stock market return of 9% less average inflation of 2%. How skipping Starbucks can get you, look at this, you guys. Can you believe this number? I mean, come on, 800,000, the power of investing. The power of investing is to turn seemingly insignificant amounts into massive sums of money. And that's what we're sharing today. Take, for instance, a daily $5 latte from Starbucks. If you're to skip that latte and instead invest the $5 a day in the stock market, your coffee fund would grow to almost $11,000 in 5 years. Keep watching, keep investing, and look at what can happen. That's just $5 a day, you guys. And I just think that this is why we have to talk about this, because we think in our minds, well, it's just $5. Well, $5 can make a huge difference in your financial future. And we got to see our money differently and for what it can do for the future. Look at this, how this looks. Is this incredible? This just shows you the difference. But let me show you the next screen. What if you took your home chef skills one step further and started brown bagging lunch? An investor who puts $15 a day into the stock market. So stop eating lunch out with your friends or whatever. Go brown bag it at least a few days a week. You know, I know that sometimes this sounds like that's just, I'm just going to go have lunch, right? Because it's easier. That's easy. Listen, financial freedom's simple. It's not easy. You've got to have delayed gratification. And you've got, I mean, a lot of you probably went to college and you're not even using your degree. You're selling real estate. I mean, people are going to college 4, 6, 8, talked to a guy the other day, 12 years, not even working in the field he went to school for. But we decided to go to school and have delayed gratification for a job, just over broke. When you guys are entrepreneurs, you've got your own businesses. Nobody tells you how much money you can make. Go do one more sale a month and take every bit of that commission check after you remove taxes and put taxes in your account that I know all of y'all have set up, that you set aside before you even spend that money. Take that money and invest it in your future. Look at this. This is crazy. Within 40 years, it was 1.2 million. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is being very, I'm not being real risky on these numbers. Mine we got to 1 million within 20 years. And I mean, we had some great years in the stock market. And let me tell you what, I mean, my brokerage account right now from what's happened in the last year, because when the market dropped, I went crazy. It is exciting. Let me show you a different way. That way you can sell real estate because you want to, not because you have to. That way you're not stressed out. I got to make my house payment. I got to make a sale. You're a much better realtor when you have your finances in order than when you're chasing sales in order to pay your own bills. Trust me, the best realtors aren't worried about if they have a sale or not this month. They're worried about their client. Look at this, you guys. This is at the $15 a day. Look how fast it starts multiplying. That is exciting. That is called compounding. And that is what I want to teach you. Because what I haven't said is these stocks, when you're buying that Vanguard 500, S&P 500, or the Vanguard total stock market, one of my favorites right now, and the ticker on it, if you already have a Vanguard account, is VFINX. And VF, and then VSTAX. That's Vanguard total stock market and the Vanguard 500. VFIAX is the Vanguard 500 S&P. And then VTSAX, sorry, I missed it. VTSAX. That is the Vanguard total stock market. So if you have it already, those are your tickers. So anyway, with that said, you guys, they pay every quarter dividends. I got a YouTube channel and it's called Down Home Money. Are y'all getting a theme here? Down Home Money. I have a YouTube channel and I'm sharing my journey for dividend investing. I'm a novice. I started in March of last year. I just had my biggest month. I just did a video. Y'all can go to it if you go to YouTube, Down Home Money. I made $10,616.12. I'm not keeping up. This in August off of dividends. This is companies paying me for choosing them. And I'm reinvesting those. And that's what happened in my brokerage account. My set plan is it kept reinvesting when it would give me my dividends. So that's pretty exciting. Sorry, I got a couple Chihuahua puppies here. They got really excited about how much money Mom made because that means more food. They got real excited. All right, here we go. Look at the impact, you guys, based on age. So you young people, this is why, because look what happens with compounding when you're young. We're all investing $200 a month. But look what happened to Joey. He started investing at 45. He contributed a total of 48,000. He's got over 100,000. Look at Jill. She started at 35. She contributed 72,000. Sorry, my pool guy must be here. There's Jack. And Jack at 25, he contributed 96,000 and he has over 800. Hang on just a second. My husband's coming to grab them real quick. Sorry. They have not been trained. Let me just say that. Thank you. They have not, I just rescued their sister Chihuahuas and they were just rescued from a rescue. And so we're working on it. Everything gets them excited. All right, they're 8 months old. Okay, can y'all believe these numbers? Is this not exciting? What do you think? Yes. Are you starting to see your money differently? Instead of what it can buy you as far as stuff and consumerism, do you see that you can go buy stocks that pay you monthly? I've got ones that pay me monthly. I've got ones that pay me quarterly. I reinvest and the compounding is crazy. My goal is to build my portfolio to $10,000 a month every month. Right now, I've got it to 4 months because the stocks that are my heaviest paying pay quarterly, and that's what they're doing. And that's why I'm sharing this because it's so important what can happen. So look at these numbers. Look at this. So 35%, is that what that says? 35% have no retirement savings. 23% less than $10,000. 10%, 10,000 to 49,000. 8%, 50 to 99,000. 8%, 100 to 199,000. 5%, 200 to 299. Only 13% of our population have 300,000 or more in retirement savings. And I'm going to just tell you, as real estate agents, we are self-employed. We don't have 401ks. We have to figure this out ourselves. And we can do that. We can do that right now by educating people on what they need to do. And that's why I have to share this because it's crucial. And a lot of people will not take anything from this conversation today, and that's okay. If I just help one person change a trajectory, it's worth it. But you owe it to yourself to pay attention because I'm telling you, where you are today is a result of the financial decisions you've made in the last 5 to 10 years. And where you're going in the next 5 to 10 years is a result of the financial decisions you make today. And we can change it. Number 8 is pay off your debts. If you're sitting here and you got a lot of credit card debt, I get it. I was there, and it is eating you alive. Those interest rates are kicking your butt. It is the debt that you've got to pay off immediately. You've got to work on that. Seriously, with 15, 18, 24. I just helped a girl with a 24% credit card get it lowered down to 10. So let me share a little trick and strategy with you so that if you have credit card debt, pay close attention, because I can help you, because I've been doing this with some of my coaching clients. Right now, because of COVID and everything that's going on in the financial world, credit cards, if you call them, and let me tell you what you have to say. Okay, so first of all, bring some humble pie with you, okay? Here's how you do it. Don't call them and go, you got to lower my credit card. I can't pay it. That ain't going to work, because I've tried all this, so I know from failing forward, I know it works. So when you call them and you say, I'm in trouble, I'm struggling, making ends meet, and I'm going to pay my house payment and the things that I have to have in order to sell real estate. I need to have a house for my family to live. I got to have a car. So those are going to be my first things I pay. And I know I owe this debt, credit card debt. And if you can just give me a few months break with a lower interest rate, that would really help my family. And you guys, it's working. It is working. And most people don't ask. You got to ask to receive. And it's working. I'm getting people's credit card debts. I had one that she was 18 and we got her down to 12. But if you just ask, do you know the difference that makes towards when you make the payment, how much more goes towards principal so you can get that debt paid off? Debt is eating all of us alive. We want things today that we have to work for the next 3 years to pay for. So what happens is we're in a vicious cycle. We're buying all this stuff that we cannot afford, that we do not need. And so it is making you a prisoner of your job. And if you don't love your job, please listen to what I'm telling you, because if you don't love what you're doing, you are creating a monster that you are going to have to work the rest of your life. And trust me, I talk to 60-year-olds that work because they have to work, because nobody had this conversation with them. And if you've got children at home, you need to be having these conversations, because they're watching way too much TikTok and way too much Instagram on these fake lives people are living. And I mean, honestly, there's a great show on Netflix. It's called fake something, but it's about people living these fake lives and what they're posting on Instagram. And, our kids are watching this stuff, and that's what they want to be and want to see and feel like they can do it. So I'm telling you guys, we got to get this under control so that we truly can have a life worth living. And debt will burden you your whole life. True freedom comes when you get the debt paid off. And if you have a house payment or a car payment, we'll get you some passive incomes that pay your essential expenses. So then you can work, and maybe your passion doesn't pay very well. And maybe you can work in your passion and not have to work a job that you don't want. Yes, there's a lot to this. And real estate, we have so many great opportunities in real estate to make a lot of money. But I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of broke real estate agents that spend every penny they make keeping up with the Kardashians. And I just don't want that for you. There is a better way. You work too hard for those sales. Let's make your money, make more money. I'll never forget, I had my biggest sale in 2006. I sold an apartment building in downtown Denton, a big one. I had the listing and I brought the buyer. And so it was a huge commission. I bought 2 rent houses. I paid cash for them. Do you know, I still make $3,000 a month in rent on those. That's the commission that keeps on giving. That is amazing. I've been making, and this has been how many years? Listen, that was 15 years ago, and I've been making $3,000 a month on that commission for 15 years. If that doesn't fire you up. I don't know what will. You make great money. Let's go do something with it. There's lots of forms of passive income. I did mine in rental property, and now I am doing a more passive because we manage our own properties, and we've been selling some properties because right now the market is crazy, and we're taking our profits, and I'm doing some investing. So we're keeping some. We're just diversifying. All right. Look at this, you guys. The average credit card balance is $6,194, and that was as of 2019. I need to get that updated. Total credit card balance, look at this, $893 billion as the first quarter of 2020. Americans are collectively using 23% of their available credit. Americans currently have 511.4 million credit cards. 61% of American consumers have at least one credit card, and the average person has 4. I got a client that's got 12. She's like wanting to have the record. I mean, it's going to take us years to pay them off, and we're working on it. It's going to happen because if you believe it, you can achieve it. All right, right now, you got to make a decision. Do you want to go towards wealth and live a life of freedom, or do you want to go towards debt and have a lot of stuff and a lot of stress, so trying to get things paid for? It's your choice. You make a choice every day when you're spending your money. Do you know this? If you pay your mortgage bi-weekly instead of monthly, you can knock off 4 years and 10 months of interest on a 30-year loan. I put this on here for people who say, because people say to me, Myra, I'm living paycheck to paycheck or commission check to commission check. And I put this on here because they say to me, I can't change or do anything right now. Okay, I just gave you one thing you can change that does not affect anything except the way you do it. So wherever there's a will, there's a way. I'm looking for people that want to walk through the door to financial freedom. I'm looking for people who really get this. And a lot of us feel down and out right now. It's really, times are tough. And it's so important that you can make baby steps. This is a huge step. Just changing, knocking off 4 years and 10 months, just by changing the way you pay your payment. You got to get with your lender, and they'll make sure they will allow you to do it that way. But that's without changing anything. There's a great tip.
That same principle works for car payments too.
Mm-hmm. You got it. And because some people say to me, I want a nice car. I want nice things. Listen, you guys, I'm not saying don't have nice things. I've got a lot of nice things, but I paid cash for them. So once you start building this, and you got to get your future self taken care of, my retirement's taken care of. So now I go buy real estate, or I go buy dividends to pay for the fun things I want. A car for me is not exciting. I have a 6-year-old car. My husband, he buys a new car every year, but he pays cash for it. And he gets what he wants, and he trades the other one. And it's a write-off for him for our rental business. But for me, doesn't get me excited. So everybody has different points. I'm not telling you, oh, you can't have nice things. That's not what I'm telling you. So don't misunderstand. I'm telling you, pay yourself first. And then we'll build assets that throw off an income to buy those nice things. How's that? Here we go. Create a wealth mindset. Here's what wealth means to me. Write down what you want. If it's not in writing, then you know what? It ain't going to happen. And so envision your future self. What does your future look like? And listen, you guys, everybody's different. Financial freedom is extremely personal. And so I share this because some people, for me, and this blows people away, I live on $5,000 a month, still to this day. That same $5,000 I made at 33, I still live on that. Now, I don't owe anybody a dime. So I am debt-free. I pay my credit. I have one credit card. I pay it off every month. It's about convenience for me and miles so I can travel. But that's it. And so I will tell you, I still live on it, and it blows people away. It's crazy, but that's just who I am. I'm very frugal. It's funny because I'm going to tell you this. When I didn't have money, I wanted everything. But when I started getting money and being able to afford whatever, it's amazing how your attitude and you just change. I don't want it. Once I could afford it, I didn't want it. It looked real appealing when I couldn't afford it. I want you to affirm your desire. You got to know why you want this. Going back to the mindset thing, why do you want this? What gives you joy? And what are you willing to do to get it? And listen to your inner voice. Don't pay attention to what other people are doing. Quit watching Instagram and Facebook. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself questions why you want this. Take action. there's going to be a transformation. I'm going to tell you, money is very simple. We complicate it by overspending. That's what happens to money. Money is a very simple process. It's money in, money out. Keep more in, take less out. Okay, that was golden. I hope y'all wrote that down. Hold on to your dream. You've got to decide what your dream is. None of us spend enough time to figure out, why am I working this hard? And what do I want for my family? And you know what? I had one girl, she was like hustling, selling tons of real estate, and she had really gotten herself in a great position. And I just said, let's pause for a moment. And what do you really want? And she goes, I want time with my family. And I said, so let's don't sell 100 houses next year. Let's sell 50. Let's raise our price, sell 50, raise our sales price, average sales price. Let's sell 50 houses. And you know what? And let's put family time on your calendar. Because you know what? Money's only good for the good it can do. And if you're working all the time and you're not paying off debt, you're just buying more stuff because it makes you feel good, because I'm going to drive a nice car. If I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to drive that Lexus. That's what I hear all the time. And you know what's really interesting? She's down to now 25 homes a year. I mean, because really for her, it's about freedom. Everybody's different. It's a personal decision. Money was not giving her happiness. And folks, money will not give you happiness. When you don't have some, yeah, you're always thinking money's going to make me happy. No, money gives you options, which in turn can make you happy because it allows you to have freedom. Freedom, here's how you get it. There's two ways to freedom, you guys. This simple. Reduce your spending and expenses and make more money. Those are your two choices. If you do both, it can be incredible. A lot of people take on a side hustle to make more money. I took on a side hustle even with my hair salon. I did a network marketing business and started selling nutritional products out of my hair salon, made extra money so I could throw it in my retirement. So everybody's different, but there are really two ways. It's pretty basic. Reduce your spending and expenses. If you're at a W-2 job and you can't really make more money and you really don't have the time for another, a side hustle, then I would tell you, you've got to get real purposeful with that, because you've got to allocate some money for that account I was telling you about. Okay, strategy number 10. Strategy number 10. You guys, it's so important that you have some exercise in your life. I will tell you, I never exercised in my life. So the stress just gets tremendous when you don't. You need those endorphins that you get when you exercise. I now walk 5 miles every morning. It's the first thing I do. I get up in the morning, and I will tell you, it has changed my thinking. It's given me clarity. It's given me time with myself. You guys, if you don't have your head right, who do you spend the most time with? You. And if we don't have our own heads on right and clarity in our own minds, how can you change your trajectory? You can't. And I will tell you, exercise gave me so much clarity. And I'm not a big workout type person. I walk fast already, so I'll wear a Fitbit, and I'm 5 miles. And it takes me about an hour and a half, but I have more clarity on life and freedom and what gives me joy and purpose and what I'm committed to and who I'm going to give my time to now more than I ever had when I was selling real estate, because you're so busy hustling. But I just want to empower you today to put an hour on your calendar while we're talking. Pull out your calendars, put an hour on there for you. Do the net worth sheet, do the budget. I'm giving you some strategies. I'm telling you, we can change your financial trajectory and for your family. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for them. You can do it. Yes, you can. I put this picture in there because a lot of people, it's all about the beach and having a beach house. And that was one of my things. And yes, you can. So you just have to take the first step. The sky's the limit, and you can have financial freedom. It's not easy, but it's simple. And you deserve to work because you want to work, not because you have to work. My email is downhomemoney@gmail.com. Down Home Money is my website. You can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and every Tuesday's my day, I'm on YouTube. So come join me. This is what freedom means to me. Free to be me, The R stands for reinvention. The E is enjoy the journey, elevate your future, design your life, opportunity of the lifetime. Money gives you options. That is me in Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and that's the cover of my book. So that's what freedom is all about for me. Here's my book. You can get it on Amazon. We made it to a bestseller because of KW and my friends from KW. The first 2 weeks out on Amazon. I just released the recording of it in my Southern accent. So if you can handle that, it's on Audible. You know what? I just appreciate you guys giving me the time and allowing me to be here with you. So thank you so much. And thank you, Scott, for caring about your people, because that's what this is about.
Thank you so much, Myra. We appreciate you being here. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask Myra before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'd love to answer them.
All right, can you stop sharing your screen real quick?
I sure can. There we go.
All right, Wes, are there any questions there in the Fort Worth office?
Looking around, any questions? We've got 2 rooms going. So Jen, anybody there in the Kelly Cafe, any of you guys have questions? Say it again.
The stock ticker.
Oh, yeah, Myra, did you hear that? Can we get the stock tickers again?
Yes. VFIAX, and that is the Vanguard 500 Index Fund. And then there is V as in Victor, VSTAX, VTSAX. I mess that one up every time. VTSAX. That is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund.
And you have to have an account with Vanguard specifically.
You would have, yes. And so, the thing about Vanguard, you can open an account and get started. There's also some ETFs. Those are 2 mutual funds, index funds, and you have to have $3,000 to get them started. But I've also got some ETFs that I can share with you that are the equivalent if you want to only put in $100 and get the account started until you build it up.
Awesome. All right.
So there, I have a brokerage account, and honestly, if you're really interested, ladies, if you're interested in the stock market, you need to tune into Down Home Money, because I'm telling you, men are into this. They're all got Robinhood accounts, a Webull. I mean, they got these accounts and they're doing this. We cannot let them win. We have got to take control of our future, and we got to do this. And if you want to know how, please call me. I will walk you through it. I do it all the time, and I want you to watch some of my stuff on my YouTube, because you need to learn. Because seriously, dividend investing is a great way for you to build you a passive income, and you won't have to work. You can work because you want to work. And so I'm on a mission here. But guys, they're not, they're not scared of this at all. So they'll jump right in. I'm trying to get more women jumping in, because I can't get over how passive it is. There's nothing better than opening my brokerage account and getting paid. Yesterday, I was paid like $200 and something as a dividend. It doesn't get better than that. I didn't do anything. Let me tell you what, I take a lot of phone calls on rental property. I love it, but I take a lot of phone calls, fix a lot of toilets and things like that. So there you go.
Myra, one question I've got for you. When it comes to choosing your accountant, do you choose an accountant that's costing you money or making you money?
A great question. And my accountant was an attorney, CPA, that set up all he set up all my corporations for my rental property and businesses and stuff. And he retired. And then I have another one that I just started using, and I don't know if he's going to make the cut or not. Because they should be making me money. I shouldn't have. I feel like with this new one, I know more than he knows. But I'm a student. In all honesty, I study every day. I study the stock market at least 2 hours a day, because you know what? you've got to learn it. And it's not for somebody that doesn't want to learn. And I'm learning every day. So yeah, I think it's important that you have, I think my whole team, as far as my attorney now, CPA, I mean, everybody that you surround yourself with. I don't use wealth managers because I use Vanguard, and Vanguard is it's cheaply done. The problem is sometimes when you're hiring a financial planner, if they're charging you and making trades in your account, you really need to evaluate that, because that's how they make their money. If they're charging you at an hourly rate, they're fine because they're really focused on your wealth. But when they're charging you based on their trades, I would watch that closely, because I've watched too many of my friends that do that and they're not making any money. Like, we compare my accounts with theirs, and I'm hitting right now. I'm at 18% I'm making in my SEP plan right now.
Myra, the last person who had a amount that high was Bernie Madoff, and he didn't do it legally, and you are. So
right. And it's changing every day. But I'm watching it, and you guys, I'm a novice, so I keep everything really simple, because listen, I was lucky to get out of high school. So I'm just going to tell you, I'll study things and I learn it. I'm quite the studier. I mean, I'm really a big student, and I've learned a ton. Thank you, COVID, for giving me all this free time in order to learn the stock market, because there's some great things happening. And my goal is to build that portfolio to $100,000 a year passive, and I'll have it there by next year. So through the compounding, because now it's compounding like crazy. Like, I made $10,616.12. Not that I'm keeping up, but that bought more stocks. That bought more stocks, right? So those accounts it's compounding every time I get paid dividends. And that, it's kind of like us when we're selling real estate, when we build these teams, right? You're a one-man band. I was a one-man band when I sold real estate, and my biggest year was 106 homes. I was like a crazy person, no time. I mean, you're just crazy busy. Then you go get your first buyer's agent, right? And now you just multiplied what you can do. That's what this is about. It's the same. Yeah, this is the same thing. You can only sell so many houses. So now let's build you a passive income through the stock market. And, we're going to open you a SEP plan, because that's your great tax write-off. And we can open you a brokerage account so you can play with it. Put $1,000 in there, watch my videos, and I'm sharing with you what I'm buying. And I mean, I'm getting stuff that's paying anywhere from 5 to 8%. Listen, you guys, your money in the bank is not making any money. And our inflation's going through the roof, and you're going to just wait. It's going to get worse, and you better protect your money.
So what is?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Myra. I have some money in Fidelity, and if it's from 401k, if I take it out, I have to pay the tax. The question is, can I transfer that money to the Vanguard from Fidelity and the other stocks?
Yes. And they can help you with that. They're great. They'll get on the phone and walk you through everything without a penalty. You should be able to transfer that without a penalty and keep it. Fidelity is a great company, and Fidelity has a lot of the same funds that Vanguard has. So if you look, Fidelity is a great company. So, and their expenses are really low. So you're good where you're at. Look at that and find the equivalent. Find the total stock market index fund that's under mutual funds, and you can invest in it. That VTSAX has a like partner over at Fidelity. Fidelity's low on their fees, so you're probably okay. You won't have to move your funds.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Great question. It's some of the others that are really high, but Fidelity is very similar, operated like Vanguard.
Myra, here's one question that I want to ask you today. If there was one move that you would want everyone to make when they leave this room today in the next 24 hours, what would you want them to do?
It depends on where they're at in their life, right? Let's go by age, okay? If you're 20 years old, no doubt about it, the first thing you need to do is start paying yourself first and do this, and you'll never have to worry about anything else for your future. I mean, it's crucial that you start investing $100, $200, whatever you can do, paying yourself and open this account. If you're in your 20s and 30s, there's where you need to be. If you're in your 40s and you've never looked at your net worth, I'm telling you, where you are, where you're going, you've got to get that under control. You need to look at that so that we can get real purposeful, because you're running out of time. If you're in your 50s, we need to talk. We need to get that dividend portfolio set up, and you're going to need to start maxing out so that you do not work after work in your 60s and 70s. It's just crucial. So it's a little different for each person. What I would suggest, first thing, though, if you do nothing, sit down with yourself and figure out what you want out of life. I think we all get up in the morning and we just get caught up in the grind. I mean, a lot of people were up, we're getting the kids ready, we get them off to school, then we're off to work. We sit down in our seat at work and we're exhausted. Lunch comes and we eat lunch in our chair and we're just go. And it's 5 o'clock, we got to go pick up the kids. And then we're going to ball games. We never spend time with ourselves. And put it on your calendar. I think it's crucial, because you need to ask yourself, in my book, I've got several questionnaires. What gives you joy? It's several questionnaires on that help me make a decision on what I wanted out of life, because everybody's different. And some people are very content. I've got a little gal, their house is paid. She's in her 30s. Her house is paid for. It's a $50,000 house. She lives out in the rural area of the county. She doesn't care. She's not trying to impress anybody. Her car's paid for. She has no debt, and she works in her passion, which she has like an Etsy shop and does some different things. But I'm going to tell you, she is living the life, whereas others may think they're living the life, but they're not, right? But because they are indebted to their job. And that is true freedom. And so when you can do that, but it just shows it's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep and what you do with it. And are you buying assets that throw you off a passive income, whether it be real estate? And right now, real estate's so high, it kind of scares a lot of us that are in real estate. I haven't really bought anything, but I'm getting ready, because money, let me just tell y'all, get ready. The market's going to shift. I study the market, and get ready, because you're going to have an opportunity to buy some rental property. This is when I bought most of my properties. I bought them in 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Some of them are worth. I bought some houses that were in a neighborhood in Denton County that they foreclosed on half the neighborhood. And I paid 60, 70, 80 for houses that were 2 years old that now are worth 250, 280. And I've been renting them the whole time. And 2 of those were houses I bought off that commission I was telling y'all about in 06. So, I mean, you guys, it's all about how you see things. Go see things differently, and your money will show up differently. Seriously, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. You just can't.
Myra, thank you so much for pouring into our market centers today, and your passion for helping people to achieve financial freedom is absolutely incredible, and so grateful that you took time to spend with us today.
Thank you,
Yes.
and thank you for
very
caring.
much.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys, you leaders, for caring about your people to bring this, because this is kind of, we lose people. But when people don't want to talk about finances, it's almost better to not talk about it, just keep them the hustle. And I appreciate that y'all care enough about your people to share. Anybody got any questions? 940-594-6466, downhomemoney@gmail. This is my passion. Let me make a difference. We'll see y'all. Have a great day.
See you later, Myra.
Thanks.
All right, so I did have more of a team meeting that I was going to go into, but I would not be able to cover it in 10 minutes. So I'm going to save that for our next team meeting a little bit later on in the month. Was this valuable? Did you get something out of this? Now think about it like this. That book that she has, you can get it on Amazon for like $11. But for those people who you want to impact as well, the first-time homeowners, the people who just got married and may not be thinking about things like this, those 10 lessons that she just taught us today, you could go and share with them. And in her book and on her website, she literally gives you the roadmap for what she just covered and says, these are the things that I'm doing. And then on her YouTube channel, she shares, these are the things that I did. And these are the things that I wouldn't do again. And just shares what her journey has looked like. And she's a very, very humble lady. And seriously, if you pick up the phone and call her, she will take your call and spend probably an hour on the phone with you and just help you with whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. So I appreciate y'all for joining us today. Wes, have fun in Fort Worth and in West Fort
Thanks,
Worth,
sir.
y'all. And we appreciate y'all being here. And we'll see you soon. Talk
All
to you
right.
later.
Thank you so much. It was very, very nice, and I enjoyed it, and
Okay, so
I learned a lot from it.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You have an amazing day.
Thank you, sir. You too.